All right, here is the Ford goaltending matchup tonight. And, of course, it'll be Corey Crawford back in the blue paint for Joel Quenneville's side. And as Eddie told you, a dozen 10-bell saves the other night out of the 32 that he made down in Texas. He's the reason the Blackhawks got 2 points in that game. And at the other end, Jonas Enroth, 28 years of age. This just his 83rd NHL game ever. You see what he did in the Buffalo opener. They were outshot badly, and he held them in for a while, but eventually the Sabres went down to defeat the officials tonight. Ian Walsh is paired up with this man. That's young Trevor Hansen. He's just 30 years of age, and this only his 9th ever NHL game. So he's one of the officials, one of the referees tonight, the linesman Ryan Galloway, Mike Civic. So the Jonathan Toews line will open up for Chicago. And we are underway now here in the home opener.
And this first period is brought to you by Chevy and ChevyDriveChicago.com.
The puck cleared up the boards, and Cody Hodgson rolled to the center. There's the veteran Gianna. He'll put it in. Jurgensen took it away from Crawford, who then recovered a stick out the right pad and prevent anything really bad from happening. Here's Sharp chasing the other way, but Myers was in his way. And now Georges for Buffalo.
I don't think that puck ever really settled down, Pat, for Corey Crawford as he went out to play that puck. It looked like it was on edge from our vantage point, and Jurgensen's was in, and the puck was on edge when he shot it back towards the net.
Saad trying to get it in front to Shaw. Now Enroth sweeps it away. Brandon Saad goes back to Hjalmarsson looking for a lane. He couldn't get it through, and it deflects out of play.
Well, a quick little shoot in. Corey Crawford goes to play it over his stick, and then there you see the right skate save as this puck was on edge, and Crawford definitely saved a goal there, even though Jurgensen's was not at a great angle. Got a lot on it, and no worse feeling for a goaltender and for a coach, by the way, just speaking from experience, when your goaltender's out in behind the net and the attacking team has an opportunity at the wide open net.
On wrister, they score! Face-off win gets the puck to Hjalmarsson. Andrew Shaw pulled it back. Hjalmarsson's long one goes in, a minute in, and the Hawks have the lead.
Brandon Saad took this face-off. And Nicholas Hjalmarsson able to settle this rolling puck down. I'm not sure if Andrew Shaw gets a piece of this, but certainly the screen in front of the net had something to do with it. But the rolling puck from Hjalmarsson, and the Hawks with an early 1-0 lead, 59 seconds into the first period. Face-off win by Saad made the whole play.
Now Hjalmarsson turned it over, but the puck then retrieved by Richards. Brad Richards. That's going to be ruled an offside play. A little bit of a late whistle, but the play has been stopped. And by the way, your AT&T Uber starting lines, you can find them at the top of your screen. All right, here now is the draw. Van Riemsdyk pounds it around. And the Sabres, Stewart turned that over. Hjalmarsson, though, couldn't make anything happen on the boards. And the Sabres work it to center. Foligno with a chip and chase. Hjalmarsson back. Fires it around the board. Sam Reinhart gets help at the line. Long wrist shot deflected wide of the target. Picked up by Stewart. He rolled it over to this side. Taken by Ristolainen. He then lost possession on the boards.
Good shot block there from Hjalmarsson.
Weber pinching to keep it in, but well covered by Richards, and now the Hawks able to get it back, and both teams change on the go.
Tough shift for that line there. It's all started. Richards didn't get the puck in. They went offside and then spent a good portion of that last shift in their own zone. Hjalmarsson with a couple of good defensive plays again.
Tyler Myers Sabres got checked off the play on the boards. It's going to be held in. Rundblad to Oduya with a long shot. Hit a leg out in front. Comes back to him. He tries again. And that went off a leg in front of the goal. Rundblad pushed it in behind. Morin there. Rings it around Oduya. Rundblad tries along with that block. And deflects to center ice. Now Marcus Kruger back to the offensive zone. His wrister handled by Enroth. Gave a rebound. Had to make a second save as Carcillo got to a bouncing puck. That really is. I'm sure as a coach you'd like to see your goalie have better control than that. Went on the first long shot.
Yeah, it wasn't that difficult. Marcus Kruger with the quick shot, but I love how Danny Carcillo gets in on the forecheck looking for a possibility to put it in, and he had to make a good save there. There's a shot block by Nicholas Hjalmarsson for Ristolainen. Go back to the goal pad. Watch his puck change direction right there. Off the stick, I believe, of Andrew Shaw in front of the net. But even went off of Andre Mazzaros, the defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres, but it goes up on the good guy's side. The Hawks lead 1-0.
Keith alongside, he scores! Another face-off win. Duncan Keith, a 50-footer up over the glove of Enroth. 2-0, 3 minutes in.
The face-off win again, Pat, for the Blackhawks. Duncan Keith with great mobility to be able to move laterally, open up the quick little play there with the stick handle, and he throws a top shelf on Jonas Enroth, and it looked like it went off of the stick of Cody Hodgson. So from that far out, it looks like the goaltender should stop it, but there you see that great pickup by our crew, where it clearly went off the stick, I believe, of Cody Hodgson, the forward, and once that puck hits that stick, it starts dipping and diving, and no chance for the goaltender even from that far out.
So it is Andrew Shaw getting credit for that initial goal. As the Sabres able to keep it in. Here's a centering attempt, deflecting to Sharp. Moved it ahead to Hossa. In with Seabrook. Hossa with a drive. That's blocked out in front. And the play rule to be offside anyway. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, maybe you've already had a couple with this great start early. Look forward to Miller time later in the game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, a terrific start for Coach Q and the Blackhawks. Direct results of winning face-offs, not just the formality. Such an important part to dictating on what you want to do. Never know when you get the puck towards the net.
Myers center, Stafford right to the goal, and Crawford might have gotten a piece point blank. As Stafford tried to roof it, it went up high. Myers, who was a big part of that last rush, gets the Sabres regrouped. And Tyler Myers bounces it to center. Ennis unable to pick it up. Oduya goes up the middle with it, chipped loose by Shaw, who then rolls it out to Saad. Brandon Saad put it in there. Now the Sabres, Weber rolled it to center ice. Ristolainen threw it to a wide open wing. And Chicago's Richards leaves it. Here comes Seabrook with a dump. Foligno rolled it back. Ristolainen comes back this way. Stewart had lost his stick somehow on the boards, and the Hawks able to get it back.
Former St. Louis Blue and Colorado Avalanche forward.
Now a steal here by Richards. Tried to center. It never got through. And the Sabres on the counterattack. Sam Reinhart, their first pick this year. 18 years of age, Reinhart, whose dad was a great defenseman. Most of his career spent in Calgary. Here's a long shot and a save by Crawford. Rebound Bickle. Able to trickle it out. Now back in Stewart. His hot pass picked off by Rundblad to Morin. Jeremy Morin will pick up some speed into the zone. Morin to the backhand. Couldn't get rid of it. Checked well by Mazzaros. And now the Sabres able to get it out. Morin quickly back into the zone, looking to drive. make a play that time, and Sabres clear it to center ice. Now a steal. And a good recovery. Now here's the shot. That goes off for like 2 blocks by Oduya, who turned it over initially, then able to recover well enough to prevent the puck from getting to the net. Rundblad pressured by McCormick. A couple of others join in. And now McCormick for Buffalo. Taken away Carcillo. Georges gets back, and now Myers missed it. Hjalmarsson a long one, and Enroth never saw it, but it floats wide. Came in front, bounced away from Hossa, and then the Sabres put it right back to their own net. That might have been Myers, and Enroth required to make a stop on his own guy. Here's Sharp down low. Patrick Sharp put it in front. Quick shot. Van Riemsdyk and a save. Enroth is loose. And Enroth able to jam it back to the corner. And the Sabres able to clear. And Riemsdyk needs to hurry. Girgensons giving pressure. And Hjalmarsson back to support. Andrew Shaw back into the Buffalo end. Girgensons rings it around. Seabrook kept it. And Girgensons rolled it loose. The Sabres start away. Girgensons into the zone. Put it Mazzaros for the shot. Right on it. Sabres, they score. Corey Crawford gave a rebound, and the Sabres had Girgensons following it up right up the middle, and Buffalo cuts the Chicago lead in half.
Pat, there's been 2 or 3 times now in this game where the Buffalo Sabres defensemen have been very active in the offensive rush. Remember that chance that Stafford had? It came from Tyler Myers. This one here comes from Andre Mazzaros. Rebound given up, and then Girgensons, who scored in game 1. Now gets a goal here in game 2. And the Sabres are right back in this game.
All right, now Seabrook works his way into the zone. His shot partially blocked, winds up in the corner. Picked up by Stafford. And the Sabres Ennis up the ice. Tyler Ennis put it into the zone. Molson threw it out in front. The puck was rolling around on Benoit. His feed broken up. And back come the Hawks. Saad on the left side. Brandon Saad looking for a little help. He'll spin it back to Hjalmarsson coming on a chain. His ring around going to be picked up by Molson. Couldn't get it out. Hjalmarsson's long shot. Tip and a save by Enroth. Rebound to Saad. Rolled it back. Van Riemsdyk to Hjalmarsson. That one's picked off Stafford. Slowly back into the Chicago end. Ennis looking towards Stafford. Hjalmarsson in the way of that. And Hawks get it back into the zone. Kane got it back to Shaw. Leaving Van Riemsdyk. Threw it out in front. Now a shot and a save on Kane. Rebound. He tried to go upstairs. Just missed the near post. Foligno and Van Riemsdyk get together. The Sabres get it. And it's cleared to the neutral zone. Quickly back in Richards. Brad Richards trying to split a couple of checkers. Could not. Rundblad getting back. The 57th NHL game for David Rundblad. He finds Bickell. Bickell, who played only 12 minutes in Dallas the other night. He goes down to the corner. It's back and away from Oduya.
Yeah, I think a lot had to do with Pat. The Hawks were shorthanded 5 or 6 times in that game, so I think that had a lot to do with it for the lack of so-called ice time there, or extra ice time there for Big Bix.
Van Riemsdyk joining the play. Bickell for Richards. He looks for a little help. Bickell to the corner. And taken away by Georges. Stewart unable to advance it. Sabres will try the other way. Now Stewart tipped it out. Here's Trevor Van Riemsdyk. His partner Hjalmarsson. threw that one into double coverage, but it bounced to Carcillo. Tees up a long one. Enroth gave another rebound. Sabres on it this time. And back they come. Gianna throws it into the corner, hoping for Stafford, or I should say Hodgson. Now a centering pass. Hodgson had a blowout in behind the net. And the Hawks able to get the puck back. Here comes Carcillo. He got checked by Mazzaros. And Kruger fights his way to the corner. Carcillo there to support. Mazzaros grabbed him, took him down. Penalty, Buffalo. So some hard work from Carcillo along the boards. Draws a Buffalo penalty. And the Blackhawks struck first at 1 minute in on an Andrew Shaw redirect, and then Duncan Keith with his second goal in 2 games.
Welcome back to the United Center up at press level. I'm Tracy Myers for CSN Chicago.com. Brandon Saad, Andrew Shaw, and Patrick Kane are together again. Now, we all saw what they did last postseason, and they would certainly like to repeat that. I asked Saad, why did it work so well so quickly? He said, we have good chemistry off the ice, and that leads to it on the ice. We're all good friends, and we seem to have fun together out there. Pat Nettie, back to you.
Attacking team. Thanks, Tracy. And that's kind of like us, partner. That's how I feel.
Chemistry.
Just like that goal.
On the mic, off the mic.
Win the face-off. Have a few bounces every once in a while. Have a few laughs, and puck ends up in the back of the net.
Perfect. Here's the draw to Sharp. Tees up for the blast. Enroth able to glove and hold. By the way, back to the penalty to Mazzaros. That was a holding violation at 10:29, so that's the initial power play chance of the game here for the Blackhawks. They were 1 for 5 in Dallas the other night. Ted Nolan's team last year, neither special team was any good. Their power play was almost worst in the league. Here's a draw to Keith. That shot never got through. The PK for Buffalo was 20th. So they were in the bottom third, but that one a little bit better than their power play that really had a bad time. Kane from the boards, rings it around. That's picked off. Keith kept it. Kane had a bouncer get away. Then he retrieves. Patrick Kane flipped it over to Sharp, then Keith. Sharp looking for a lane. Can't find it. Shaw's at the front of the net. Here's Kane. Touched it back to Sharp. A blast. And that hit traffic in front. Keith. Now they got McCormick out there without a stick. He goes for a change. And they do get fresh bodies out there. Here's a takeaway from Taves, but Keith kept it in. Now Taves, that one just escaped him. Hawks will need to regroup with a minute remaining on their power play.
Not often you see a player that breaks his stick while short-handed situation leave that defensive zone like that, but I think it caught the Hawks by surprise. The only guy that really recognized that was Patrick Sharp, as he made a beeline for that open area of the ice where Cody McCormick had left.
Marian Hossa rolls it in. Benoit ringing it around. Seabrook kept it. Now Richards, his long blast into the glove of Enroth, who had a good look that time.
Well, Friday, in celebration of CSN Chicago's 10th anniversary, we will be airing one of our favorite moments over the past 10 years, the 2009 Bulls thrilling triple OT win against Ray Allen and the Boston Celtics. The force of Game 7, plus enjoy special 10-spot fun facts throughout the broadcast. Friday at 7, only on CSN.
Half a minute of power play time here as Richards will move in for the draw against Stafford.
Just saw that boy's hair, Pat. I think he spilled a Slurpee on it or something. A blue Slurpee. That'd be my buddy Joe DePinto, president and CEO of 7-Eleven. Chicago guy, went to West Point with the Pinto family. Big Blackhawk fans here in the city of Chicago.
Bickle out of the corner. Rolled away from him, though. Marian Hossa with 995 career points. Looking to add a couple tonight. But as the Hawks move up their power play over both teams full strength, as Saad was in there early, offside the call with 7.5 remaining in the first. Chicago up 1.
Well, you know it. The best hockey video game is in stores right now. EA Sports NHL 15. You can lace up the skates and score goals just like Patrick Kane and Corey Crawford. Which brings us to our EA NHL 15 Spotlight. Their careers against the Buffalo Sabres.
Both of them real good numbers, and you see Corey Crawford's been spectacular in 4 games against Buffalo up till now. And hey, there's Mrs. Kane. Well, Mr. Kane looking the other way. But that's the first time a Kane didn't know the camera was up.
In from Buffalo.
Hawks get this one in. Enroth missed Benoit. Centering pass for Moore and winds up back in the corner. Kruger on it. He'll go back to Oduya. Looking to center. Here's Smith. He shoots. Goal post. Oh, Ben Smith beat Enroth to the stick side, but hit the goal post.
A little different look here, Pat, on this line with Morin, Smith, and Kruger.
Matt Molson threw it in front. Crawford fought it off in traffic. Puck came loose to Stafford. Goes down low. Ennis with Molson in front. Stuff attempt denied. Crawford, he's got it. He's not sure where it is, but it's in the paraphernalia.
A little bit of a different look. This line was together during training camp and looked really good at times with Kruger, Smith, and Moore. And there you see Ben Smith spinning around and firing his puck to the far side right off the post in behind Jonas Enroth. Well, we've only had 3 goals in this game so far, but we could easily have 5 or 6. And then this last opportunity for the Buffalo Sabres, you made mention of that save and Crawford not knowing where that puck was, Pat. He was making like a sneaky peeker there. He was looking around. He was looking over his shoulder to make sure that puck was not in between him and the goal line.
Now Stewart back of the goal. Chris Stewart stripped of it by Taves. And Sharp cleared to center. Reinhart turned it over. Here comes Sharp. He'll tee up a long one. Fought off Enroth. Gave another rebound, but Myers there. And a lot of the second chance potential opportunities after Enroth, the initial save, he's putting right back in the middle of the ice.
Yeah, you got to know if you're an offensive player for the Blackhawks, Pat, is that the shots coming, you got to get there for a second or third chance opportunity because they are there.
Now the Sabres, Foligno threw it into the corner, hoping for Stewart. Keith first there. Rundblad. It bounced up over the glass and out of play with 6 minutes remaining in the opening frame. Blackhawks goals from Shaw and Keith. Girgensons for Buffalo.
Full time now for our Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible stat. And for just the 6th time in the last 26 years, all 3 of the top picks from the previous NHL draft played in the season opener for their respective clubs. We're seeing one of those young men tonight. You mentioned, Pat, his dad was a real strong player for many years in the National Hockey League. Paul Reinhart.
Funny half out of the corner, but Hjalmarsson there. Saad has a little room. Girgensons bounced it up the board. Saad kept it in. Now Kane got turned around on the play. Here's Hjalmarsson, a long one. Oh, that didn't miss by a whole lot through a Kane screen. Patrick Kane goes down low with it. Andrew Shaw spins it in front. Kane, his shot partially blocked. Now Girgensons, and the Sabres start back. Benoit gets into the Hawk zone. Rister right on towards the middle of the net. Crawford makes the save and holds.
From our Xfinity Telestrator, something to keep an eye on moving forward. Watch what the Buffalo Sabres start doing here, Pat. They're going to start pulling out of the zone once they get control of this puck. Now, what that does is that forces the Blackhawks defense to pull out. Now that gives all that room over on the left-hand side for them to jump into the play. So it looks like now is that when they get the puck, they're going to fly the zone. It pushes back the defense, opens up some ice for Ted Nolan and the Buffalo Sabres. And Ted Nolan's son, Jordan, plays for the defending Stanley Cup champion LA Kings out there playing for former Blackhawk captain and coach Daryl Sutter. Jordan Nolan out there in LA.
Yeah, two-time winner, right?
Yeah.
So big power forward type of guy. And last year, you just saw Ted Nolan. Last year, the Buffalo Sabres, in their first 20 games, they had 4 wins. So with that, under fairly new ownership, the big changes were made throughout the management. The general manager, Darcy Regier, was let go. The coach, Ron Ralston, was let go. And Ted Nolan came in to try to work some of the magic that, you know, he had generated a long time. He was coaching Buffalo a long time ago. And they were always perceived as an overachieving type of team. And now with all the youth they're trying to develop, I'm hoping that Ted Nolan will be able to install that real hard work ethic that the Sabres used to have when he was behind their bench before. Matt Molson's going to get it in, get off. 4 minutes to go in the opening frame. The Hawks have outshot Buffalo 13-8 so far tonight. O'Keefe and Rundblad weren't sure who was going to do what. Sabres a steal. Here's a stop attempt. Crawford downstairs made the stop. Arcillo happy to take icing here. There's really good. Now Keith goes over to talk to Rundblad and just have a little chat. They got to figure out who's going to be where.
Yeah, great pickup, partner. And it's just one of those, instead of zigging and zagging, the Sabres jump on it and create a quality chance. We talked about it in the open, Pat. It's not about right now or even next year for the Buffalo Sabres. It's about, you know, down the road and getting high draft picks and trying to build from within. You mentioned ownership, Terry Pegula,
who now owns the Buffalo Bills.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah. So purchased the Buffalo Sabres a couple years ago for $100+ million. Also dumped. He's a graduate of Penn State. Also put $120 million back to his alma mater and built a Division I hockey program that I'm proud to say that my son is a part of. And and had another $1.2 billion to buy the Buffalo Bills and keep them in Buffalo. So the petroleum business is pretty good for Terry Pegula, and certainly have a vision for what's going on in Buffalo.
What do you think his petty cash drawer looks like? A little different than ours. Here's Hossa. Great kick to the stick. Got to the middle. Right in. Oh, it just grazed the outside of the post on the way by. Great rush from Haas. He's got it back. He goes down. Penalty Buffalo coming up. Here's Keith. Hawks looking to get the extra attacker out. Sharp takes a look. The late man is Kane coming on a change. They get it across to him. Dropped it to Seabrook. Now it's taken by Keith. Seabrook to Kane. Taves near the front of that. Backdoor is Sharp. Good shot with a one-timer. And a fine move post-to-post Emerald.
Pat, this all started, and you mentioned it. Talk about the greatness of Marian Hossa, never breaking stride. Watch his pickup in the middle of the ice. Tough pass to handle, right skate through the legs, blows right through the middle of the ice, and eventually draws the penalty. But what a shift by Marian Hossa, and the opportunities presented because of the great pickup. If Hossa does not pick that puck up in the middle of the ice, Pat, those chances don't happen. The Hawks don't go on a power play. But just the greatness of Marian Hossa. There's the penalty on Big Haas.
Kane. He looks across to Sharp. Now Keith to Sharp. He's going to walk center. Oh, just missed Kane to the pass. Looking back towards Sharp. And his pass went outside the line. Sabres know that the Hawks touched that. The whistle will go, so they took their time to clear it.
Yeah, that would have been most likely intentional offside, and the faceoff would have came all the way down.
Oh, nice pickup out of midair by Ennis.
Nice entry there. Good try by the Hawks. Or Sharp would have been in. Looked like he would have been in all alone.
Taves in for Shaw. Richards pass picked off. Stafford put out, going to be breakaway. Ennis is in, shorthanded. Tyler Ennis scores. Shorthanded goal for Ennis, and the Sabres have tied it. No, a problem at the blue line for the Blackhawks point man, Richards, and it leads to a Buffalo shorty.
Pat, this all started in a play that Andrew Shaw's here. He has to recognize is that the Buffalo Sabres in this area, I mean, he really puts Brad Richards in a tough spot here. He's on his offside. The pass kind of jammed him there. You'd like to see Shaw just chip the puck ahead there. And then Tyler Ennis comes right in, makes a couple of moves, and beats Corey Crawford. But Richards has to understand, too, is that once the pass, which was a problem, and put him in a tough spot, Pat, okay, but then you can't try to force it and make something out of it. You're better off to just live the fight another day and do what? Put it where Shaw probably should have put it in on that play there. So a couple of mistakes, and what ends up happening? 125 feet away, the puck ends up in the back of your net.
All right, final minute now of the first period. Seabrook's pass deflected just behind Bickle. And Ralph will take a whistle.
His first of the season scored by Ennis, assisted by Stafford at 18:40.
Well, after a terrific start, and a couple of missed opportunities to increase that 2-0 lead, the Buffalo Sabres have answered back.
Here's the draw. Keith. His long blast. Enroth kicked it right back to the middle again. Hawks get it back. Keith will look to Hossa. There's the pass, and he tried to feed to the middle. McCain well covered. Now comes loose. Hossa to the backhand. Keith. Hossa's one-timer. That never got through. Rebound. Off the goalpost. Second post of the period. Taves a redirect there. Beat Enroth, but drew iron. Back come the Sabres. Their penalty over. Both teams full strength.
Almost too many men on the ice there for the Sabres as well.
And now the period will come to an end. The Hawks had 17 shots in the opening 20 minutes, just 10 for Buffalo. But we'll go to the opening intermission all square.
Well, great movement. Jonathan Toews standing right in front of the net. The key is his sticks on the ice, giving a target for Patrick Kane, and I think Enroth got a piece of that first, and then off the post, as you mentioned, partner. That one by Toews off the post, the other one by Ben Smith. Twos are wild as we get ready for the second period.
It was once a 2-0 Chicago lead. The Hawks scored twice in the first 3 minutes of the game, but the Sabres able to work their way back into the battle tonight. And we're even at 2 after 1.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help. Ford, who invites you to visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com. Corona Extra. Find your beach. And by Kia. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois has teamed up with the Blackhawks and moved 2 lucky fans closer to the action as part of tonight's Blue Seat upgrade experience. Don't forget to bring your Blue Cross and Blue Shield card for your chance to win. Hey guys, how you doing? Blue Cross through it all. Congratulations to those lucky winners.
Look pretty happy about the whole development there.
Oh, we love happy humans. Welcome back to the United Center. Hello to you too. 2-2 as we get ready for the second period. Time now for our Hyundai What to Look For, and here are some of the happenings around the National Hockey League. Former National Hockey League defenseman Chris Pronger joins the National Hockey League Department of Player Safety. Good luck to Chris Pronger. And the Arizona Coyotes reach an agreement to make Andrew Barroway majority owner. That seems to be changing every handful of months or years with the ownership situation with the then Phoenix Coyotes, now the Arizona Coyotes.
You're calling that a fluid situation?
Yes, there's been a lot of kerfuffling down there over the last little while.
All right, it was once a 2-0 Hawks lead. Now they enter period 2 tied in the game. And we mentioned a 17-shot opening 20 minutes. Only 11 in the first 40 minutes in Big D the other night in the season opener.
And the second period is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Sharp into the zone. Has broken up Myers. And Girgensons turned it right over to Taves, who shot it across the ice. Here's Van Riemsdyk. Now on the other side, Taves goes to the deep slot. Hossa. Chalmerson's long one tip. Good save by Enroth on a redirect. And the puck cleared to center.
Good hand-eye there from Patrick Sharp.
And Riemsdyk, nice composure hanging onto the puck, and he put it on the stick of Taves. His feed was then picked off Giada. And Van Riemsdyk in the passing lane there. Duncan Keith. Backhand feed right there for Taves, and out comes Kane. Patrick Kane weaves his way to the middle. Dropped it, Keith, a long wrist shot. Enroth got a tiny piece.
Oh, he's really fighting it. Let Enroth continue to get those pucks to the net. I'm sure the Hawks coaches and video coach Matt Meacham will be letting the players know. Just keep getting that puck to net. There's rebounds.
Seabrook tees it up. A hot pass. Never got through. Ennis bounced in front. Nobody could find it. Ennis does. Might have a 2-on-1. Tyler Ennis moves in against Seabrook. And Shaw scurried back defensively. And Ennis goes down before he could pull the trigger. Back comes Shaw. Andrew Shaw's pass finds Kane. Saad carried on. And it's brings it around the boards. It goes all the way out to center. Ennis with it. They're going to beat the Hawks up the ice. Ennis put it in the middle. Here's a shot. Good save by Crawford, and no rebound available. It was a 4-on-2 Buffalo rush. And great work from number 50 to not yield a second chance.
That's the whole key, partner. Ennis to Ristolainen. Two Sabres there. Molson there. Stafford looking for an opportunity. Here's that beautiful hand-eye coordination there from Patrick Sharp off the shot from Nicholas Hjalmarsson. And the rebound was there. Sometimes it just happens, Pat, where goaltenders are fighting it, and you got to take advantage of it because most of these guys in the league, at some point, they're gonna get into some kind of comfort zone, and those aren't going to be there. So guys without the puck are more important than the guy with the puck.
Here's a wraparound. Crawford got to the near post, and the rebound taken by the Sabres. Behind, it's Oduya battling with Foligno, who took him down. Now Stewart had it but lost it, and Ben Smith had it stripped away. Sabres able to keep the play alive. Reinhart grabbed by Rundblad. That's a Reinhart-Rundblad grapple. And behind the net now. Puck dug out and bounced away from Bickle. Here's Stewart, a shot. Save! Crawford in traffic. And the rebound into the corner. Big jolt delivered to Rundblad. Foligno knocked him right down. Then he got over to Bickle, whose clearing attempt did get out.
I was going to say, as long as Ristolainen doesn't get in that pile, we're going to have some problems. Or you're going to have the problems.
I'm done timing. Here's the puck back to the Hawks line. Georges lifted ahead. Now Myers threw it deep. Seabrook hit hard in behind by Torrey Mitchell. He went awkwardly to the boards, a little slow to get up. The play continues as Morin skated right into Torrey Mitchell and went down. Now Mitchell battles in the corner. Puck spurts away to Carcillo. And now out comes Morin. His wrister deflected out of play.
They talked about the collision there for Brent Seabrook. It wasn't that hard of a hit, but then it was just a fall there, and that's why you got that helmet on nice and snug so it doesn't come flying off there. And good to see Brent Seabrook okay. Pat, I got a special birthday wish to Debbie Roboleski, wife of Dr. Mark. Takes great care of Lavender Patch, one of my horses trained by Tammy Dominowski. So happy birthday to Debbie.
Now Tay is working the boards. Hossa came up with a puck. Van Riemsdyk up with him. Hossa gets the line. Oh, an extra move forced an offside whistle.
Another birthday wish, Pat. Happy birthday to Susan Marie out there in Romeoville. Happy birthday to her.
And now the Taves line against the Ennis line for Buffalo. Myers banks it at Stafford. He's assisted on both the Buffalo tallies. Didn't make anything happen that time. Puck comes back to him. And Hjalmarsson delivered a good jolt on the wall.
Buffalo's coming right now, Pat. The Hawks have to change the momentum of this game right now because Buffalo seems to have found another gear. And obviously down by 2 and gaining that confidence in that first period, but they seem to have a little bit of jump.
Here comes Ennis. He's got Stafford with him. There's the pass. Here's the shot. Crawford well out to meet him. And then it jumped away from Myers, who could have otherwise had a chance. Here's Hossa to the other end. His shot went off a leg. Hossa battles in behind the net. Finally it escaped into Molson. And then Weber.
I remember that stop. That's a huge stop there by Corey Crawford.
Here's Oduya. And the whistle was knocked down with a high stick, they say. So we halt the action.
Well, an odd man situation coming back at the Blackhawks. 2-on-1 from our WeatherTech RoboCam. And that's Robo, not RogoCam. Bolson to Ennis. All the way over. And a great opportunity there from Drew Stafford. But Corey Crawford very aggressive, moving right to left. Didn't seem like much was happening there, partner, through the middle of the ice. The next thing you know, there's a 2-on-1 from about 10 feet outside the blue line. And those have been the plays that Sabres have been making here early in the second period, generating a couple of good offensive looks.
A keep by Rundblad. Threw it towards the middle, bouncing up into the air.
Got to get rid of that quicker there. Too much time, and Sabres were able to recover and take away a quality chance.
Kane took it away from the kid Reinhardt. Patrick Kane able to shield him from the puck. Good pass for Rundblad. He's tried to center, maybe one pass too many, and it bounced off traffic. Saad gets back into Shaw. Nice move around to check, left it for Saad. Dropped it back, Keith. To Kane, to Seabrook. It never reached him. Good recovery by Brent Seabrook, or the Sabres might have had an odd man rush. And talk about being put in a tough spot. Seabrook was there. Did well to avoid trouble.
I sense it a little bit too much pretty right now, Pat, in the game of the Blackhawks. I think now it's got to be old-fashioned meat and potatoes, straight ahead, get the puck to the net, and generate and create like straight ahead hockey.
Mitchell able to get it in. Now Keith, who was on the ice for 30 minutes in game 1. He feeds Bickle, whose shot never got through. Broke his stick in the on the wrist shot attempt anyway. And Mitchell bounced it to center. 23-year-old Trevor Van Riemsdyk around to Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Bounced it ahead. Bickle, that's an offside play. And a whistle with 7 minutes gone by in period 2. We're still tied at 2.
Well, time now for our AT&T U-verse upcoming schedule, and the next 3 games for the Hawks. The Calgary Flames. Take note, 7 o'clock start on Wednesday night. One of those great 7 o'clock starts at the United Center.
You've been waiting to say that all season.
And then the Nashville Predators come a-calling, and then the Philadelphia Flyers on Tuesday, the 21st of October. And that is one angry coach right now, Joel Quenneville, behind that bench with that stare.
He certainly, I think, has the same sense that you pointed out a moment ago. Sabres on the come a little bit. Looks to get a little bit momentum on his team's side. Now it's Van Riemsdyk. Bouncing it up the boards, Morin. Couldn't get it beyond Benoit. Hjalmarsson followed up. Carcillo with a bouncing puck gets the line, looking to drive the net. Dropped it. Morin couldn't pick it up. Van Riemsdyk did to Morin. And he was checked by Benoit. Came up with it. Morin hanging on. Carcillo tried to feed Van Riemsdyk. It winds up in behind. Kruger with a wraparound. Came out in front, and he couldn't get rid of a second bid.
That all started, Pat, because of the nice play by Van Riemsdyk to keep the play alive, to get the puck to Jeremy Morin.
There's a long shot by Keith, high up off the glass. And now the Sabres able to get out and get it in for a change. Duncan Keith threw it in. Myers back. Georges put it up the board. Stafford is checked. Sharp the takeaway. Hossa now looks towards Sharp. Taves front of the net. Sharp walks in front, shooting. Fought off Enroth. Rebound. Back into the blue paint. Hossa jam. It did not cross the line. Sharp raised his stick as if he thought it had gone in, but no indication at all from the official.
Quick shot by Patrick Sharp. Marian Hossa in front of the net. Here's a rebound, right out in front. Hossa with the chance. The puck is laying there, and it looked like, actually, Pat, that last chance it was kicked by Marian Hossa. Watch the right skate of Big Hoss. Right there. Now, I don't know where this puck ends up. I know it ends up in the back of the net, but there you see the official. Perfect positioning. And the face-off to the left of Jonas Enroth.
So Marian Hossa reaching the 30-goal mark last year for the 8th time in his magnificent career. He's had 8 30-goal seasons. There's 3 other times he had 29. So the productivity spectacular as he nears a career milestone, getting close to 1,000 points. And now they're going to video review on that play we just showed you, just wanting to make sure that this is still a 2-2 game. So they'll be looking at every angle, every view that they have up in the war room in Toronto. And by the way, you think that room's a little bit busy tonight? All 30 teams in the league are playing. There are 15 games, and you can see that puck that you're going to see here in a moment, I believe, that when it was advanced by Hossa, it may have even crossed, but it certainly got to it.
Yeah, it definitely crossed the line here, Pat. Watch the kick by Marian Hossa. There, right there.
Yeah.
Looks like it's across the line, but again, that's one of those where it does look like a distinct kicking motion to me by Marian Hossa. And the league has looked at it, Pat. The so-called soccer-style goals or redirecting the puck off your skate. I mean, these are things that the league, it's evolving. I think the league has done a great job, Pat, because I think that the greatest compliment you can have is that other leagues are copying the National Hockey League when it comes to video review. And they're trying to have more offense in the game. They're trying to make sure that in these situations that they allow more goals. But again, the danger aspect, they don't want players around the net kicking with their skates and trying to put the puck into the back of the net. But there clearly, it looked like to me, there was one of those kicking motions by Marian Hossa. But there has been some leniency going on now with how pucks end up getting to the back of the net, whether it's the bunting is the verbiage or soccer style type of goals. And certainly, you know, Marian Hossa's played a little bit of soccer back in his days in Slovakia. But to me, it looked like that puck was distinctively kicked in by Marian Hossa. It should be no goal, but let's see what the official says.
Here's the young kid, Trevor Hansen.
Following review, the puck was kicked towards the net, didn't go across the goal line, no goal.
Wow. Then again, the overhead doesn't do us any good because Enroth is there and you're not able to really see it. But it certainly looked like the puck got near the goal line. And there you see Coach Q, demonstrative as always behind that bench.
Well, I mean, I think you pointed out the critical aspect of it, which certainly looked to me like it looked to you. That's a distinct kicking motion. I mean, the puck was advanced by the boot, by the blade, so we remain tied at 2. Hossa unchecked in the corner. Seabrook kept it in. Sharp tied up on the boards. Hossa got it back. Stripped by Molson. Ennis comes away. An extra move, actually kind of fumbled it at the line. That brings down the offside call.
New season, new gear. Check out the limited edition NHL Cross-Check Collection. Say that 3 times fast, partner. The NHL Cross-Check Collection at the CSNChicago.com today. Gotta have one of those in a Foley, don't they? Yeah, they gotta definitely have one of those. Good-looking sweatshirts, or what do you think? With turning tree on the back of it.
Better be wide in the shoulders.
And get the tie down.
All right, here's Foligno putting it across Myers. Threw it into the corner, Stewart. Now Reinhart fights it loose. Pass is turned over to Saad. Kane gets the line. The late man's Oduya. Here it comes. That never got through. And the Sabres, Myers, former Rookie of the Year. Let's help here from Georges. Foligno with around the board. Rundblad looks to Kane. It missed him. Held in Weber. A long flip shot tip. Oh, the redirect didn't miss by a whole lot from Stewart on the tip. Now Marcus Foligno helped in behind. Stewart rolled to Weber. Looking back towards Chris Stewart. His pass goes off a skate. Bickle couldn't get it out. And Rundblad dropped it back, gave it right to McCormick, though. And a centering pass picked off by Kane. Patrick Kane hoping for Bickle on the other side. He missed it. And now Seabrook threw it in. Weber goes over Ristolainen. Bank pass picked off. Carcillo against Weber in the corner. It's cleared around the boards. Mitchell had a blowout. It's held in. Hjalmarsson.
A different look here. Pat Smith, Kruger, and Carcillo now.
Hjalmarsson going down low to Carcillo. Trying to throw it in front. Goes right to Enroth, who will hang on to it as Ben Smith and Cody McCormick had quite a duel going on right around the blue paint. And meanwhile, a bit of a stare down with Delorier and Carcillo, but the officials keep them apart with 8.5 remaining in a tied second period.
Hey fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group Seats auction. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. Everybody's holding court tonight.
Great Dom seemed to be at the center of it all. In his 1,272nd consecutive game. All right, here come the Sabres. Centering pass, and Girgensons couldn't pull the trigger. Back come the Hawks. Taves to Hossa. Weaves to the middle. He's going to get it shooting. Big save by Enroth. Rebound was hacked at by Van Riemsdyk. He couldn't advance it, though, as Enroth managed to hold him off.
Well, Marian Hossa with the rush. Taves going hard to the net. And Trevor Van Riemsdyk looking for a second chance opportunity. And I mentioned Patrick Sharp, Pat. Watch the effort here from Patrick Sharp from our Xfinity Telestrator. All you young hockey players out there, never too late to come all the way back and help out defensively. He's the guy that knocked Girgensons down, and Patrick Sharp was in on that rush, filling in for Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who jumped into the play. So an outstanding shift there for Patrick Sharp.
A steal by Kane, then it bounced to Myers, and put it around the boards. Ennis challenged by Seabrook. Myers leaves it for Georges, who tried to bank it out. Shaw with a keep. And in this board battle, Kane jammed it loose, but Josh Georges takes over for the Sabres. And a sidestep to Saad attempt. Back in comes Stafford. Drew Stafford tried to pull it to the middle. Could not against Seabrook. But came to Molson. Back Molson to Stafford looking to center. That pass deflected. And it's picked up by Seabrook. On feed picked up by Saad. He got checked right away.
Look out.
Trying to catch the Hawks in a change. Ennis gains the line. Takes a look. Pulls the trigger. And a save by Crawford.
Oh, that was a good save, Pat. That was a difficult stop for Corey Crawford. But you picked it up, partner. The Blackhawks were in the middle of a change. Tyler Ennis had all day, and then there's that shot with the screen in front from Matt Molson. Left pad save from Crawford. Oh, and wow, what a great pickup by our crew. Actually went off the left skate of Matt Molson in front of the net. Just a terrific look. A nice play there from Ennis. I thought he had a chance to shoot the puck a little bit earlier. There's another makeshift line here with Bickle, Kruger, and Morin. Let's see Brad Richards in a couple of shifts.
And now Rundblad getting back. And Andre Benoit sends it in. Morin unable to get it out. Following up Rundblad. And Oduya. Put it into Buffalo ice as the Hawks go for a change. Sabres looking to catch him in that, but the feed missed Reinhart. Now back in Kane. Patrick Kane hangs on. Goes the late man. Seabrook. Oh, his stick broke. He got it to the net. Kicked away Enroth. Rebound. Smith working the corner. Now here's Kane. Smith, Richards, Kane out there now. Kane shot. Handled by Enroth. And Richards gets it back. Now Kane across to an open Seabrook. Centered it. Kind of a tweener pass for Richards. Kane again. Kane spins to his forehand. Centered it. Keith, the shot. And he missed the target.
He was looking for the stick of Ben Smith, Pat. It was off to the left of Jonas Enroth.
Right now it's dumped in there. Sharp and Myers get together in deep. Hossa lurking. Sharp came up with it to Taves. Rundblad missed the pass. Here is the breakaway for the Sabres. Delorier in alone. Delorier had Crawford all to himself from center ice in.
Yeah, defenseman who's playing forward here tonight. Hawks catch a break on the youngster with that opportunity, and a good stop from Crawford again in the second period.
He clears this wrister away. Mitchell in behind Delorier. Trying to stuff it out in front. That's picked off. To Hossa, who absorbed a hit on the board. Still got it out of the zone. With 4 minutes remaining in the second. Here come the Sabres. Stafford, a wrist shot, or Hodgson now. It couldn't get the second attempt through. Gianna in behind. Ryan Gianna dropped it back. Nazaros' shot blocked. Now Girgensons. Cody Hodgson. Lost it on the boards. Out comes Brandon Saad. Saad, who did not have a shot on goal in game one. Able to get this deep. Benoit. Hodgson. And a pitching Hjalmarsson took a hit to keep it in. Kicked it to Kane. Patrick Kane. Back to Nick Hjalmarsson, a one-timer. He got nothing on it. And the Sabres get it out. And Riemsdyk, a long feed on the money. Carcillo trying to get up the middle, but could not. As the Sabres collapsed in a penalty coming up against Buffalo.
Beautiful pass there from TVR, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, to give Carcillo the opportunity to draw the penalty.
A moment ago, speaking of a break, Delorier from center ice in on his lonesome self, or by his lonesome self. They're still tied. Welcome back to the UC. Hey, look at who's going to shoot the puck between periods. My old buddy, Wacko. Jimmy McMahon on hand, whose son Sean is a member of the Blackhawks front office staff. Great young guy.
Yeah, he does a great job with everything under the Blackhawk umbrella, including our Blackhawk youth hockey camp. So great to see the Punky QB.
It would have been great if he was a hockey player and wore shades playing hockey. You know he would have.
All I'm going to say is he would have fit in nicely with our crew back in the same era when the Super Bowl shuffle was extremely popular.
Hawks on the power play. Kane looks for Taves. Now Sharp. Back to Keith. Sharp taking a look. Lets it go, and that hit traffic in front to Taves. Donovan Taves. Down low for Shaw. He bounced it away from Kane, and now a 2-on-1 for Buffalo. Girgenson's got it. Girgensson moves in a shot. Fought off by Crawford. I said 2-on-1. The Hawks really scurried back defensively. Wound up being a 2-on-2. Oh, Girgensson just had to let it go. Back comes Kane. Now Keith lets it go. Just missed the net. A hot bounce from the inboards all the way out.
Wow. It's almost Joe Louis-like their partner.
Yeah.
Those springy boards.
2 minutes to go in the period. 1 minute for the Hawks man advantage. All right, Brandon Saad with some speed. Centered at Hossa. Stripped just as he was ready to shoot. And Stafford cleared it. Richards back into the zone. Around for Saad. Sabres clear at the length.
Saad all by himself there. No support.
Saad back into the zone, but two Sabres got to him. And Myers shot it the other way. That's going to finish the Chicago power play. Both teams are at full strength with a minute to go in the second.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Carcillo, good reach by Myers. Hodgson rolled it in, then got it back. Cody Hodgson wants Torrey Mitchell. Dropped it back. A long clip shot. Weber went wide. Now Chalmerson. Sabres look to keep it in there. Duya got a rough ride in the corner, but able to get it around to Chalmerson. Clearing to center. Stalainen bounces it back the other way. And it's going to get down far enough for icing, so an offensive zone draw with just over 8 seconds left.
On the Blackhawks Magazine Game Program is signed by Patrick Sharp. If it is, you're our lucky winner for tonight. Please report to section 106.
Well, Blackhawks
third period Baker Wise.
With an 11-shot period, the Sabres have had 9. Trying to get it to the net once or twice more here with Taves in for the draw. Up in the corner. Sharp chasing it down, but he's going to run out of time as the second period comes to an end. 11 shots for Chicago. Their total is 28. 9 shots Buffalo. Their total is 19. So the Hawks and the Sabres will go to the third period even here in Chicago.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world.
Welcome back to West Madison Street. The Hawks and the Sabres will enter the third period tied. We have a chance to talk to assistant coach Mike Kitchen before that happens. And he's brought to us by Pace Madison Stadium Express. Kitch, it sure seems from up here as if there's a lot of loose change around Enroth. If he can make that first save, he's given up a lot of loose pucks. Has your net presence been as good as you'd like to see it so far tonight?
Well, that's what we addressed in between periods. We said we have to get more pucks at the net, and there's all that loose, the pucks are loose around the net, and their coverage is a little suspect. So we got to have more guys going to the net at the same time, and even our defense can creep in there a couple times. Although we got to make sure we have a good third man. They're a good rush team. They're dangerous on the rush, and our third man's been getting caught, and where they've had outnumbered attacks on us.
Hey, Kitch, you mentioned defense. I want to ask you about Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Small sample size, I know, a game in 2 periods, but just talk about where you think his game is right now for a young guy.
Well, for a young guy coming in the league, you're trying to protect him somewhat in the situations you play him in, but every time we put him out on the ice, something happens. Something happens in a good way for him. So he's very poised with the puck, takes his time, he sees plays up ice, and defensively he's very sound. Positionally, he's playing between the dots, and he pushes everything to the outside.
Kitch, what else did you guys talk about in this second intermission just to get your team ready for the third? Other than net presence, what were the points you tried to bring up?
Well, the biggest thing was like what we talked about earlier, is getting pucks at the net, looking for those second and third chances. But the other thing that was really crucial is having a higher third man, because you're in a good scoring area there, and you're good defensively on the way back to defend against the rush.
All right, we appreciate a couple minutes here. Good luck in the third.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kitch. All right, now we get underway with period 3.
This third period is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers. Oh, that was a little slow on that one, partner. Sorry.
Oh, that first time.
I'd like to say
You're so quick all the time.
I'd like to say I had some soft serve going, but not right now.
A steal, Seabrook centered to Taves. Oh, but he fired it wide. Seabrook has it back, looking down low for Hossa. Taves takes over now. Out of the Taves, stripped of it, and Jurgensen battles his way ahead. Did not get it out. Keith bounced it deep. Here's Sharp. Seabrook going back over to his shot by Hossa that's off the leg to Seabrook. And now Taves again. Here's Taves in the middle. His shot missed the target. Great opening shift for the home team to start period 3. Finally, the Sabres get out of their own end.
2 great chances there for the captain. Unfortunately, I don't think either one hit the net. Something to build off of here to start the third.
Kane for Shaw. His wrister in and out of the glove of Enroth. A loose puck there again. The Sabres get it. And Mazzaros had it escape him. Molson got it over to the other side. Benoit looking to clear. Great keep, Hjalmarsson. He then was taken down. And it's cleared to center right. Matt Molson gets in looking for Ennis. That hit escape. And back come the Hawks. Side into the zone. Going to drop to Kane. Patrick Kane shot. Stopped by Enroth. Rebound to the visitors. Stafford chipped it deep. Heath to Richards. Reinhart getting back. Absorbs contact from Bickle, but he held the puck. Nice play by the kid Reinhart, and the Sabres get it out. He pounds it back in there. He roll up along the dasher board, comes all the way out. Brent Seabrook with some skating room. Got it into the zone. Ben Smith hanging on. Goes around, and Stewart chipped it away from Seabrook.
It's interference.
Then knocked him down. He's going to get the puck. Chris Stewart moves across, centered it. Shake just wide. That was a great chance for Georges, but he failed to hit the target off of Stewart's setup.
I don't know how that's not interference.
Seabrook was from a prone position looking up at the official, wondering the same thing. Now the whistle has gone, and a penalty Bickle, it looks like.
Well, right in front of the official, they say play on, and the Buffalo Sabres almost have a backdoor wide open net right after that play had happened. And then Brian Bickle, as you picked up, partner. A high stick in the middle of the ice. After that near goal by the Buffalo Sabres.
So this, the first power play of the game for the Sabres. Hawks were shorthanded 6 times the other night. All of those 6 Dallas power plays came in the first 40 minutes. So the Hawks went 3 straight periods without being shorthanded. But now we're down a man early in period 3.
2 minutes to high, 53:03. Blackhawks penalty goal number 29, Bickle. 2 minutes for high, 53:03.
Tyler Myers, as you mentioned earlier, is the Calder Trophy winner, is the Rookie of the Year. He had 48 points that year as a kid and as a rookie. Down to 22 points last year and was a minus 26, Myers. Now he's playing on a bad team, so those numbers are going to sound maybe a little bit worse than a lot of others in the group, but
A guy like Josh Georges who will really help Tyler Myers here. He didn't have much experience in leadership last year. They'll certainly address that this year.
Ennis trying to get out in front, could not. It bounced to Hossa. A minute remains on the Buffalo power play.
Be the third rotation up front for the Hawks, Pat. Good job. Not giving the Buffalo Sabres anything the first minute of the power play.
Cody Hodgson dropped at Mazzaros to Stewart, then Mazzaros. Kind of a tweener pass, didn't connect. Hawks able to get it out.
Sabres had a chance to shoot the puck there, and they had to get a little bit too cute, and the Hawks were able to send it down.
Hodgson quickly back into the offensive zone. Pass smothered and picked off by Hossa. Now the race is on. Here comes Enroth way out to knock it away from the charging Saad. Then he chased it down, Saad to the middle. Trying to dance free. Down he went. He couldn't get rid of an attempt. Came back to Enroth. He will take a whistle.
He gets a shot from Mazaros when he's sprawled out, but just a tremendous speed. But this play all started, Pat, back in the Blackhawk zone where Marian Hossa made a great defensive play with his stick. There's the speed of Brandon Saad, and now he just circles the wagons. Makes a little move here while on his backside trying to make a play. And watch Mazaros. Sticks him in the face and then gives him a little glove and a punch for good measures. And good restraint there from Brandon Saad. High five there from Jeremy Morin. And where you see assistant coach Kevin Dineen. But that play all started 117 feet away by Marian Hossa.
Oduya's long blast blocked to Sharp. He tries. Put off by Enroth. A shoulder save. And now the Chicago penalty over. Both teams at full strength. And is it two? Oh no, Enroth with an equipment problem. If the goalie's headgear comes off, they stop the play immediately.
The Blackhawks have released Blackhawks Divvy bikes through the end of October. Finding these bikes and posting photos to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or Tumblr with the hashtag BlackhawksBike gives you the chance to win Blackhawks and Divvy prizes. For more info, there it is, some soft serve ice cream. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. It's been a while, partner. It's been almost about 8 weeks since I've had a little bit of that, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why you're down 40.
No, not 40. Almost, though.
Well, way to go. You look great. And...
Oh, I heard they're maybe looking for some center ice depth somewhere. I know there's an age restriction. Only if I can bring the old Titan back.
Yeah, gotta have wood.
The old wood stick. I know Troy Parchman, the terrific equipment manager, and Clint Reif, assistant equipment manager for the Blackhawks, might have one of the old Titans around.
Chance for Taves. His shot blocked. Now winds up in the corner. The Sabres, Hodgson starts back. Great back check there by Hossa to take it away. And Riemsdyk bounce it to center ice. And Riemsdyk across for Shaw. Now into the Sabres zone. Shaw looks to center. Kane, he scored! Patrick Kane, a one-timer. It was thrown into the middle by Shaw, and Kane got rid of it in a heartbeat. 3-2 Chicago.
Well, just a solid play by Andrew Shaw. Just to get this puck to the middle of the ice and let Patrick Kane let it go. And this puck was on edge the whole way. So as Enroth, watch the celebration here, Pat. Andrew Shaw knows Patrick Kane's parents are in the background, takes his stick and acknowledges Patrick Kane's folks. They're probably about 35 feet away, but a beautiful pass. The puck was on edge, and it caught Enroth in between, right on the ice for Patrick Kane.
He's got speed, and again, Kane, the shot. Enroth, the right pad. Rebound to Reinhart. Shot back the other way, Oduya and Stewart. And Shaw stepped into Stewart with a good jolt. Puck loose along the boards. Shaw hacked it out of there. Rundblad, hard around. Carcillo tapped it out. Now it's picked up. Morin, he drives, he shoots. Enroth the save. Sweeps it loose to Kruger. Marcus Kruger back of the net. It missed Morin. Held in, a long shot. Keith and a save. Another rebound. Oh, and hacked wide by Kruger. Enroth gave up another second chance. And the Sabres finally get it out.
Scored by Kane. Assisted by Shaw and Oduya at 5:58.
Picked up here by Morin. Tried to make a little drag move, could not get away from a check, and Lines up with Grant Seabrook. Now back is Ristolainen. Here's Richard, picked off. That's, boy, the Sabres had stolen the puck, looking to counterattack Ennis, but they ruled it to be an offside play. And Patrick Kane's first of the year has the Hawks back in the lead. Time for our Kia Drive to the Net flashback, and on this very day in 1984, look at that, 16 and white, Eddie Olczyk in his first NHL game scores his first NHL goal. Kurt Fraser and Troy Murray out there with him, and look, and he got pushed to the ice, and there's Troy. Come, what are you doing to my winger? Don't go anywhere near him, but certainly a night he will never forget.
How many years ago?
1984, 30.
30 years ago. Dave Feimster with the shot. Troy Murray set up Femer, and originally, I remembered it as I went through like 5 Red Wing players through the middle of the ice, between the legs like Savoir Faire, and that's something I'll really never forget. It's hard to believe 30 years ago. It was, you know, we showed Patrick Kane's mom and dad sitting in behind the visiting goaltender pen. I told you during the TV timeout, it's almost the same exact area that the real Ed Olczyk and Diana Olczyk would sit at the old Chicago Stadium. And to see Patrick Kane and Andrew Shaw acknowledge Kaner's mom and dad there certainly brings back a lot of memories, but something I'll never forget. I thought about that as a kid growing up in this city for a long time, and then I got that opportunity to score in my very first game. Now, it was the 7th goal in a 7-2 win, but who cares?
Well, obviously a momentous night that began a brilliant career that wound up with my great partner in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. And I'm really happy, though, that, you know, you can tell that video has been around for a little while, but, you know, it was in color, so I'm really happy about that.
Well, we got a great crew at CSN, so they probably had their paint by numbers.
All right, now Keith to Sharp. Tipped it loose. Hossa gets in to Taves, trying to beat Hodgson to the middle. Now it's picked up by Van Riemsdyk. Oh, a hot pass. And it went between Sharp and Hossa. Hossa now in front. Van Riemsdyk. Caught off by Enroth. Rebound in behind the Sabres Stafford there. And Georges will lead them from their own end.
A couple of good chances there for Van Riemsdyk. First, that hot pass, as you mentioned, Pat, looking for a stick in front, and then a beautiful pass from Hossa to Van Riemsdyk.
Now that's a hand pass from the Hawks zone out to center ice. And we talked about Trevor Van Riemsdyk a couple of times tonight. How about this opening night for the first home game? He's walking in through a big crowd with the Golden Jet. Look at the face on that kid. 23 years old, and he's going, it wasn't quite like this at the University of New Hampshire last year.
Yeah, I had a chance to visit with him this morning and asked him about that first game, and just that smile's ear to ear. And his mom and dad are here tonight. Allison and Franz are in, and they were in Toronto to see his older brother, James Van Riemsdyk, play for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think they're actually going to travel tomorrow. He mentioned, Pat, to go see James in Boston. Penalty on side coming here. Got a stick up on Brian Gianta. See if there's any blood here. It might be a 4-minute penalty.
Yeah, they're going to look for that because Gianta went down quickly. But
looks like a deuce.
Chicago number 20, minor penalty, high stick.
Right part of your screen. Yeah, right there. It kind of got caught around the waist and then just rode up in the shaft of the stick. And that's why you wear a mouth guard, just in case.
Well, Brandon Saad, who was actually given the second assist on Patrick Kane's goal, he's now got 2 helpers tonight, but as you saw in the box, and his team trying to maintain a 1-goal lead. Gianta Pass picked off. Kruger clearing.
2 minutes for high sticking at 9:10.
Back come the Sabres. Stewart will get the line. Keith gets back. Nice pass right to Smith.
Trust factor as well with the play from Dr. Keith to Ben Smith being in that perfect spot.
Well, they dump it in. Seabrook gets help on the boards. Taves to Hossa. Here come the Hawks short-handed. Hossa gets in, driving, shooting. He scores! Marian Hossa! Another short-handed goal in his storied career, and it's 4-2.
Well, the effort by the penalty killers. Brent Seabrook advances his puck up the board. Jonathan Taves wins the battle. And now it's a 2-on-1. Here comes Hossa. Left-handed shot. Not a lot of stick handling. The puck's in a shooting position. And blows it right by Jonas Enroth. But that all started back in the defensive zone. Bad play by Stewart to give the puck away. Seabrook wins the physical battle, and then Taves with the chip and support. And the Hawks with a huge goal. Short-handed.
Still 40 for the Hawks penalty as Hjalmarsson hammered it back the other way. Now the Sabres misfire on a pass attempt. So each team has a shorthanded goal in the game tonight. And now the Sabres will get it back into the offensive zone, but the Hawks penalty over, and both teams are at full strength. Here's Saad. Going wide. Got Myers turned around. Cuts in. Here's the wraparound. Enroth cut across. Saad again. Van Riemsdyk takes a look. Put it on the stick of Kane. Kane works against Gianna. Got rid of him. Kane sent it inside. Kicks in the stick with a shot. Good save by Enroth. Rebound to Saad. He left it for Kane. Into the corner, Shaw. Helped by Saad. Ran inside. Hangs on into the middle. Saad drives. Looks to slip it in front. Now the wraparound. He put it in front. Van Riemsdyk a shot. Enroth didn't know where it had gone. In behind it goes, and a great shift here for the Shaw line. Kane takes over. And the Sabres haven't touched the puck in a while. Van Riemsdyk. Put it to Hjalmarsson. Around for Saad. And then Saad moves back towards the middle. He's in. He shoots. And a save by Enroth. Rebounded, and Shaw was dumped out in front of the net. Penalty Buffalo coming. And Shaw, as he always does, trying to create havoc around the blue paint. I think it was Myers that just dropped him. Well, the Blackhawks, it appears, will go to the power play with a 2-goal lead when we come back. We promised it earlier. We'll bring it now. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Third period, Patrick Kane from Andrew Shaw. And then short-handed, Seabrook to Taves to Big Hoss, Marian Hossa. And a note on Marian Hossa. 30th career short-handed goal. The most among the active players in the entire National Hockey League. Now he's top 20 all time.
Tyler Myers a penalty, and the Hawks back to the power play. A long shot, Keith into the glove of Enroth. He wanted to play that, it looked like, but the whistle had gone early.
cheap shot there from Tyler Myers. Lucky he only got 2 minutes for that. He was out of gas with 4 of his other teammates, partner, because that line it was a game of giveaway, or keep away, excuse me. They were trying to get the puck away from the Hawks.
Eddie, that last Enroth stop a moment ago that led to this faceoff, that was the 16th shot on goal for the Blackhawks in this period. The Sabres have had 1. Here's Taves, back to Keith. Now Kane. Shaw again front of the net. Taves. He'll go back to Sharp with a long shot. He scores! Patrick Sharp, a blast from 55 feet away. It's 5-2.
Not sure how Enroth lost his stick as his puck was on its way to the blue paint, but Patrick Sharp, we talked about his 6 shots on goal in Dallas. Jonathan Taves with Andrew Shaw in front of the net, and Patrick Sharp lets it go. And he just lost it, almost like he threw his stick at it. And no chance for Enroth with that perfect screen in front of the net and high fives all around, because the Hawks have scored their 5th.
We battle into the corners. Reinhardt's pass. And then a shot by Weber, blocked away by Crawford. Smith lost it. Got a good block by Rundblad. Richard, I don't know why that wasn't interference. He hadn't gotten anywhere near the puck, was knocked down. There's a centering pass. The Sabres able to clear it back to center.
This game has been about surges, right, partner? Hawks had first 2 goals in the game. Buffalo had the next 2. And now the Hawks have had the last 3.
Well, the Blackhawks went a little over 40 minutes without scoring. I mean, the 2 goals that he mentioned, he joined us late. They came in the first 3 minutes of the game. But Buffalo managed to score 2 before the first period expired, and the Hawks didn't score again until about 6 minutes into this third. Carcillo to Morin. Morin hangs on. Unable to pull the trigger. And now a loose puck to the Sabres.
Carcillo's going to get a penalty here, Pat. I think he grabbed the stick from Drew Stafford out of his hands.
Ennis went in and went down trying to dance away from a check, but the Sabres will head to the power play, down 3.
Advocate Healthcare wants to help you stay ahead of the game. Schedule a same-day mammogram with next-day results by calling 1-800-3-ADVOCATE.
Carcillo off for a penalty, so the Sabres back to the power play. And here's the go. Hawks will be back in this building tonight, beginning a 4-game homestand. Calgary's here next Wednesday night.
The Blackhawks penalty with goal number 13, Daniel Carcillo. He was for interference at 15:05. Blackhawk penalty goal number 13, Carcillo. He was for interference at 15:05.
Now Buffalo's Myers. Will throw it around the boards. Almerson check, lost it. Ennis tried to center. That was up off the ice. Stafford couldn't corral it. Drew Stafford back to Tyler Myers. A long clip shot. Crawford made the save. It squirts to Hjalmarsson. He lost it to Ennis. Now Ennis to the middle. Myers had to drop it back. Mazzaros to Myers. Put it across. Stafford had the pass go back to Benoit. Myers able to keep it in. Hjalmarsson pressured by Stafford. And Hjalmarsson came up with the puck. 45 for the Saberman advantage. Now they get back in. Hodgson a ring around. Stewart unable to pick it up. Hayes with time to take a look. Now back in. Gianna works his way behind. Seabrook stepped into him there. Mazzaros tried to hold it in. It's gloved out of the zone by Hossa. Hudson put it around the board. Now the Hawks penalty over, and both teams are back at full strength. Cody Hodgson looks to center. The pass deflecting. Now a steal by Carcillo. They got a 3-on-2. Carcillo going to look to the middle. Saad there to the backhand center. Score! Might have been Carcillo that got it back, and it's 6-2.
Well, a beautiful play from Danny Carcillo in the middle of the ice. Finds his puck, gets it back to Andrew Shaw, right part of your screen. Watch him go to the net and puts it into the wide open net. Not a great angle. Opens up that stick blade and a reaction from the penalty box. And the column in the score sheet to the goal scoring column. Beautiful play there from Saad. Shaw going hard to the net, who's had another strong game tonight. Andrew Shaw. But a beautiful little give and go there between Carcillo and Brandon Saad and Danny Carcillo.
And speaking of good games, that'll be the third assist of the game for Brandon Saad tonight. As Bickle moved it to Richards. Floats it over towards Rundblad. He's well covered. Now Bickle. Rundblad is back at a rolling puck. Picked up by Torrey Mitchell. So Saad gets the lone helper on Carcillo's first.
Penalty on Hjalmarsson, I believe, for slashing here, Pat. Delorier took a run at him and got his hands up, and then Hjalmarsson gave him a quick little slash.
As the Sabres will head back to the power play, we can take a moment for our KFC fan cam.
I guess they're driving home with that.
All right, the face-off to the left of Crawford, who will remain perfect against Buffalo in his career. This will be his 5th victory in a row against the Sabres. And the goals against will be well under 2 when this one's over. In the 5 games he's played against Buffalo. And his save percentage will be up around 94 or 5. Seabrook cleared it. Final minute of the game. The Hawks scored 2 goals in the first 3 minutes tonight. Buffalo caught them at a deuce before the first period was over, and it stayed that way until early here in the third. Well, the Hawks have pumped in 4 in this period, including a shorthander and a power play goal. Crawford made a save in traffic. Now Ennis came up with it. Rolled it out to the line. Myers can't find a lane. Benoit to Ennis. His shot missed the net and bounced all the way out. One final opportunity here for Buffalo as they're on their feet on West Madison Street, down to 10 left. The Chicago Blackhawks, who lost only 7 times in the 41 home games last regular season, open up this home part of the schedule with what turns into a dominating victory. Take a look at the winner tonight, who's now 2-0 in the season, and that leads us to our GMC great saves, professional great saves of the night.
Yeah, Corey Crawford, Pat. Saw 23 shots from the Buffalo Sabres. Didn't have a lot of work early, but as the period went on, the Buffalo Sabres got stronger. There's a big save in the second period when the game was tied at 2. And Corey Crawford, back-to-back strong performances for the Hawks.
Time now to announce tonight's 3 stars of the game, brought to you by Bud Light. The number 3 star of the game from the Blackhawks with 1 goal and 1 assist, number 88, Patrick Kane. The number 2 star of the game from the Blackhawks with 1 goal and 1 assist, number 65, Andrew Shaw. And the number 1 star of the game from the Blackhawks with 1 goal, number 81, Marian Hossa. Please turn your attention to the Blackhawks bench, where Luke Stuckmeyer is with tonight's number 1 star of the game, Marian Hossa.
Marian, that was an explosive third period. What was working so well for you guys there?
I think we play better defensively and create more chances that way. You know, on the first period we didn't do it as much, and the second one and the third we were much better.
That was your 30th shorthanded goal in your career. Walk us through the play and how it developed.
There was broken play, and Johnny won the battle by the board. He just gave it to me. There was 2-on-1, and I just decided to shoot.
Another goal. You have scored now 13 seasons. You've scored 20 or more. But you were talking this morning about how your game has evolved a little bit. What do you like about back-checking in the defensive part of the game?
Well, you know, I enjoy it. I like the stripping pucks from behind and helping our Ds. So, you know, that's my role, and I try to do that.
Marian, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Marian Hossa, your number 1 star.